Hi, clowns. Welcome to Crimenelia Street. I'm Sam.
And I'm Tori. And we are gathered
Once again on today.
on this weekend, this Sunday. Love a Sunday.
In July. So we're getting current, people, because this should be out sometime soon in the future.
Within 2 weeks.
Right. So
Ish.
we're getting there. Yeah.
And by the time it comes out, we'll be in the holy month of August.
Oh my goodness. I forgot that
coming.
August is a holy month. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I feel ashamed. Maybe we can cut that out. Maybe not. I don't know. Because I did legitimately forget. But yes, it's our holy month.
It's coming. Sam today is Your Mom Only Smiles on her TV show.
Yes. And I did that because Maddie Healy's...
Oh.
This sounds so dramatic, but Maddie
I
Healy's
love it.
mother did an interview with Andy Cohen, and she was very, snarky towards Taylor, saying, "Oh, I'm glad I'm not her mother-in-law." And it's like, I'm sorry, like, why are you saying this right now?
That's a very weird thing to say.
Right.
Like unsolicited,
and,
too.
Exactly. And it's like also interesting because Maddie Healy kind of downplayed their whole relationship or whatever while Taylor's talking about like cradles and rings and things like that. So it's just odd that his mom would choose to say, "Oh, I'm glad I'm not her mother-in-law." It's like, oh, so was it in the cards then? Like, so what's the truth here, lady? Like,
Right. You're ratting on Ratty. Really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, and that means you're also assuming all those songs are about him as well. Or
True.
that you know that those songs are about him as well. So it's just very interesting.
Insightful, really.
Exactly. And Colors is like one of my favorite songs ever. So just thought it was appropriate.
Yeah, that song's so good.
And Tori is, I want to watch Wisteria grow, which sounds so delightful. Like you want to lay in a field and just let it take over.
Yeah. The Lakes is underrated, I feel like. That song, it's so good. It's just so, like, relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've been gardening. So, just trying to think of gardening, Swiftie lyrics. Yeah, just put a bunch of seeds out today. I was just telling Sam I hope the sun doesn't burn them because our heat index is, what'd you say, 107?
Yeah.
107. Yep. It's only 92. My house can't keep up. It's now 80 degrees inside, and it's 7 o'clock at night.
Oof.
So, love
wow.
it. Love it.
Yay, we love it here. Can't wait to be back. But, well, hopefully, I feel like right now is probably the hottest. Probably August, maybe. I don't know.
August, yep.
Yeah.
But you don't come back till September, so you slide by this year, and that's a good thing. You kind of need to get acclimated as it heats up throughout the year. You can't just really jump right into it. It's not right.
Yeah, we just skirted right on by that. That will be a shock. But
Smart, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
now you avoid the heat.
exactly. It's working out perfectly, so can't complain. Yeah, how has your week been?
It's just been so hectic. I'm in this, like, a little bit obsessive. My new hyperfixation is, like, working out and fitness and eating right. Just, it's a healthy hyperfixation to have, but it is certainly time consuming. So yeah, I was talking about, I think it was maybe our last episode about like work-life balance and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm doing okay, and I was coming off a 3-day weekend and feeling all optimistic. Not the same after this 2-day weekend.
So petition to make all weekends 3 days. I think that is the solution.
30-hour work week. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I vote for that.
Yeah, because who came up with the 40? Was it Henry Ford? And what did he know about this society? Like, this modern day society.
Right. In my experience, you can't let men do anything.
Yep. 40 hours a week. That gives me like an hour or two after I come home from work, and dinner will already be ready. So I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to do any errands because the groceries will just already be there in the house.
The laundry will be cleaned. Yeah, just kind of.
It's not like I just have lots of time to read my newspaper.
Read a newspaper, have a whiskey.
Smoke a cigar. So must be nice.
Must be. How's your week been?
Yeah, my week has been good. Just coming up with activities to keep the kids occupied while I am packing away the whole house. That is just my main focus. I did sell my first item on Marketplace successfully this week.
Amazing.
So I'm pretty happy about that. And it's funny because, well, you're like, heads up about the Marketplace people. These people are nuts.
They're cutthroat.
They are. I need to actually, I was figuring I could just make the post, set the phone down, walk away, come back to it in a few hours, see what happens. Oh my God. No.
Gotta be
People
clocked
want
in.
answers. They want them now. And, but yeah, I did my first sale, so that was great. Yay!
Good job.
Thanks.
Was it the person who offered more than asking?
No. So I had promised it to that person, and she seemed kind of like a younger gal, and she kept on changing the day that she would pick it up because she kept on getting called to work, and then she had to use her mom's truck and all this stuff. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, I'm going to hold it until Friday, and then that's it. And so this other lady at the same time was quite aggressive in her messages, asking for it. And I just finally had to be like, okay, I know, but I have given my word to this person, and I would just feel bad to go back on that. So if you can just wait a day or two, and I promise you'll be the first person. And sure enough, the other person canceled. I went to her. She picked it up within a couple hours, and it was this sweet old lady.
Oh.
It was like an old little lady, and the way she was talking to me, not rude or anything, just very like,
direct.
I would not thrive in a bartering environment because I'd be like, okay, just like take it for this. I don't know.
I'm already dreading my next car purchase because of that. You have to like negotiate, and I'm like,
I wonder if there's like women only car dealership.
there needs to be.
I think that should be a thing. Just like how we saw that, what was it, Uber or Lyft was making it so you can request women only, which amazing.
Honestly, like I would feel so much safer because that is my only thing. You can ask anyone. I could be obliterated because usually I am drinking when I'm Ubering. I could be lost my memory drunk. I am still checking that license plate before I get into the Uber. Like
absolutely.
It's the one thing that does like freak me out with using Ubers is being kidnapped, being taken and all.
Right. Because you're in their vehicle. And I definitely send it to like at least 3 or 4 people, I feel. Like sending it to the group chat or whatever, sure.
Also, Instacart, can we get this as well? Because I've stopped getting alcohol through Instacart because I have to go to the door and show my ID, which I am just not comfortable with. Usually if I'm getting an alcohol, it's like nighttime, and I don't want to go to the door alone at nighttime and there be a man there. I don't want that. I don't want any of that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Instacart, please. Because there's been times when I've seen a man take my order and I'm like, can I cancel it now? And you can't. So, yeah. So Instacart, you should get that. And then sponsor us.
Yeah, and yes. And just some credit would be nice, and maybe some free like groceries or something. Yeah, that'd be great.
Bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Groceries, actually. No, I'll change my answer. Groceries. That shit's so expensive.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought they were supposed to go down, but
I was told.
Right. But that's neither here nor there, so.
Nope. Should we go to the sad stuff?
Okay. Yeah. Let's be saddened.
Yes, we were giggling too much.
Yeah, it was a bit too much this early in the podcast. No, we got to save that.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Stop.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
I don't know why. Someone did that to me one time. It's cut it out. Cut it out.
Oh, wow. I can see that as a really good like hand signal to your children if they're acting up. Like
With the eyes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so this case, like many, is a doozy. It's probably going to be a two-parter. I have 10 pages of notes in 12-point font, so I'm assuming it's going to be a two-parter, but we'll see how it goes. What is it called? When you warn people?
Trigger?
Yes. Trigger warning for child sexual abuse and child endangerment in general. This is actually based in Queensland, Australia. I listened to a podcast where they're in Australia, so I'm just going to say her name the way that they did. And I don't know if it would be pronounced that way with an American accent or not, but I'm just going to say it the way that they did because I feel like they would know.
Right.
So we're going to be talking about Tiahleigh Alyssa Rose Palmer, and she goes by Tia for short too, so I'll say Tia a lot. Tia was born in 2003 in Queensland, Australia. I couldn't find her actual birthday, and I'm assuming that's just because she's a minor when things happen, so maybe that information just isn't out there. So Tia was born in 2003 in Queensland, Australia to her mother, Cindy Palmer. I don't have her father's name, but there was a father as well who was kind of in and out of her life, but not always present. Cindy Palmer and Tia lived in Logan City, Queensland, which is a community that has a relatively low socioeconomic status compared to other parts of the country. That's not to talk shit about this area, just to note, that way we have some context moving forward. Cindy, Tia's mother, had grown up in foster care and has been in kind of rough stints throughout her life where she was, there were times when she was homeless, times when she was a drug user, times when she was in relationships that had domestic abuse. So she kind of had a tough life. And I think it's important to keep in mind moving forward that Cindy and Tia are a part of a generational cycle that we see often in low socioeconomic areas. These areas often have low support for women, single moms, and mental health. We will see throughout Tia's story that Cindy makes some decisions that may be judged by people who haven't had the same experiences as her, but in my opinion, some of those actions and decisions are more of a representation of the lack of support for people, and especially women in these areas, than a judge on Cindy's character or how she is as a mother. Tia's childhood, like her mother's, was wrought with instability and a lack of her guardian's ability or motivation to meet her needs. As Tia got older, she did present with difficult behaviors, but this seems to be a product of the instability in her life. She was even diagnosed later while in the foster care system as having adjustment disorder, and it was noted that she demonstrated challenging behaviors. So it makes sense for someone who's having, a child having lots of instability. But apart from this, she was not by any means like special needs or anything like that. The Child Welfare Department in Australia was involved in Tia's life from a very young age. Tia spent her childhood bouncing around from different family members in foster carers' custody. The Child Welfare Department in Queensland began receiving notifications of concern for Tia's welfare when she was very young, the first being when she was less than a month old. The concerns that time involved domestic and family violence, parenting capacity of Cindy, misuse of some substances, and reports that Tia had gone through drug withdrawal at birth.
It's heartbreaking.
I know. In May of 2003, Tia was certainly less than a year old. She was placed with foster carers due to neglect and emotional harm by her mother. She had a sibling. as well, but I mostly kept the sibling out of it because there's not a whole lot of record of that. When Tia was 3 months old, it was reported that her mother had been seen yelling at her and didn't show her any affection. Tia was placed back in Cindy's care in August of 2003, so it was like 2 months that she was away. In September of 2008, so we're fast forwarding about 5 years, Tia was placed with foster carers again due to the department receiving notifications of concern involving neglect and emotional harm. These were found to be substantiated. It was alleged in 2008 that Tia's mother was verbally abusive towards Tia by calling her derogatory names and swearing at her. So in October of 2008, after the verbal abuse incident, Tia went to live with her father. In the same month, the department received 2 reports of concern, and it was found that Tia had suffered emotional harm in the custody of her father. And so she lived with her father for some time, and then even after those concerns came in, there were actually a couple other reports as well, but I think they ended up being unsubstantiated. In January of 2010, the department found out that Tia had been in the custody of her maternal grandma, so the dad at some point had passed Tia off to the maternal grandma, and the maternal grandma had been deemed not suitable as a parent to Cindy when Cindy was young. So the grandmother was reassessed as a guardian to Tia, and the department decided that the grandma was not suitable to be a parent for Tia, and they took custody of Tia. They determined that the grandmother was not able or willing to care for Tia. So I don't know if it's just that she's too old or doesn't want to. That's kind of quite the vague term, but it was determined that Tia could not be in her mother or father's custody at this point. And Cindy, at this point, voluntarily gave up custody of Tia as well because Cindy was in a relationship where there was a lot of domestic violence, and she wanted to surrender her rights because she wanted Tia to be in a safe place. She actually ended up leaving that person and ended up homeless because of it, and then ended up back into drug usage through the homelessness as well. So she had a rough few years after that. Tia lived with various foster carers from January 2010 through January 2015 when she was placed with the Thorburns. In 2010, Tia's father disengaged with the department. Although they continued to reach out until 2013, they never received a response from him, and his last contact with Tia was in August of 2010. So pretty soon after she went into the foster care system. In 2013, Cindy got into a better place, Tia's mother, and had more contact with Tia. Cindy at this point was also pregnant and in a new relationship. Tia and Cindy initially spoke on the phone, then they worked their way up to face-to-face meetups, and eventually Tia even felt comfortable spending the night at Cindy's. So they had a sleepover in July of 2015. So they're kind of working on reshaping that relationship. Unfortunately, the relationship was still strained. Tia had feelings of being unwanted and feelings of abandonment, which made it difficult for the two to bond. Tia especially struggled now that her mom, so she was pregnant, now the brother has arrived, and the brother lived at home with her mom, and then her other sibling also lived at home with her mom. So Tia didn't understand why they were home and she wasn't, and she blamed herself for that.
Oh, poor thing. Oh my God.
I know, that one's like really hard. It makes me tear up.
That is crazy. Yeah. No, I'm not crazy. It's so sad. It's just crazy sad. Oh.
September 21st of 2015, Tia's mother decided that Tia should remain in the care of the department long term and that she would relinquish guardianship of Tia. She stated she didn't want to continue with structured contact with Tia, as Tia could see her whenever she wanted to. So I think what that meant is that she didn't want to continue like going through the department to contact Tia, because Tia can just contact her whenever she wants. She's getting older now, and, you know, if she wants to reach out, she can. From 2010 through 2015, Tia was under what's called a short-term custody order due to the fact that Cindy did not want to relinquish guardianship of Tia at that point. When Cindy did relinquish guardianship of Tia, it allowed the Child Welfare Department to begin actually permanency planning for Tia, and they filed for a long-term custody order, which would grant Tia more stability in her placements with foster carers. Up until this point, at the age of 12 years old, Tia had moved between households 15 times.
Wow.
That's great. It's more than once a year.
Yeah. Is there a picture of her?
Yep. Actually, it's so funny. We just got to the point where it says, see photos of Tia.
Oh, perfect.
You can look at all the ones labeled Tia.
Aw, yeah.
She just, like, I don't know, seeing the pictures made it, like, I guess just more real. She's just a little girl.
Yeah. Like, in her little school uniform and getting her face painted, like...
Looks just very
she's already been
girl.
Through so much at that point. More than anyone should have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
Okay, so now she gets placed in January 2015 with the Thorburns. The Thorburns were a family of 4. There's Rick Thorburn, who's a truck driver, and he had a food truck business that the whole family worked at. There's Julene Thorburn, who began a daycare, so she was a daycarer, I guess. And then their 2 sons, Joshua and Trent Thorburn. Trent was starting an apprenticeship to be a metal fabricator, and Josh helped with the daycare. And you can see a picture of the Thorburns as well.
Mm-hmm. So I see a family, a white family, and then 2 teenage, like probably late teenage son. They look like they're probably middle class.
Just like super average looking.
Yeah, super average, questionable hair choices.
Yes. Totally agree. This was, I guess, around probably 2015 too. So yeah, you'd think those hair choices would have been in the past at that point. Hey,
different.
Queensland might be different.
Right. We've never been there, so.
That's funny. So Joshua and Trent, those are the teenagers. They were both dancers, and Tia also attended the dance classes. She became interested in that as well when she was placed with the family. And I guess she had always been interested in dance too. She was just something she enjoyed. Tia also enjoyed cheerleading, animals, and horse riding. The Thorburns had 2 acres of land and horses and a swimming pool. It just seemed like a really nice place for kids to be.
Yeah.
Tia was described as a delightful girl and a child people would fall in love with. She was well liked by her peers and had many friends in school. Tia kept a good attitude despite the instability and abuse that she suffered. She was described as not being very streetwise and being just kind of naive a little bit for her age. Tia had no run-ins with the law and had no history of self-harm or drug abuse. She had run away, I shouldn't say drug abuse, drug use at all. She had run away a couple of times, but also always came home before dark and usually told people where she was going. It seemed like when she ran away, it was more of like an attention thing and less about like, I'm actually like leaving this place and running away. Mm-hmm. And she was afraid of the dark too, so it seemed like she would always come back before nighttime because it's scary.
Right.
There are some conflicting reports about if she had skipped school or not before. I saw some sources that said that she had, but she had always just gone to a friend's house if she did, and then she'd come home right after, you know, like almost pretending like she hadn't skipped school. And then in the coroner's report that was very thorough, that said that she hadn't skipped school. So I don't know what is the truth there, but it seems like if she did skip school, she would come home like right after school. Mm-hmm. So on the day of October 30th, 2015, a worker from one of the child welfare organizations showed up at Tia's school to bring her to a program that they were supposed to go to. When Tia wasn't in school, the social worker spoke to the school staff and then to Tia's foster carers. The school staff said that Tia hadn't been present for any of her classes that day. Her foster carers, Rick and Julene Thorburn, initially weren't that freaked out. Again, I think she had skipped school before, so they weren't too freaked out thinking, oh, she'll come home right after school. Rick did say that he did drop her off at school that morning. So October 29th, the day that she wasn't in school, was a Friday. The social worker who had showed up at the school knew that Tia had run away a time or two, but when she had in the past, she was always at a friend's house. The social worker assumed this was the case again and wasn't worried when Tia wasn't present in school. It wasn't until she came in on Monday morning and knew that Tia was still missing that she, in quotes, felt uneasy. I like how your eyes went like big there.
That's like, imagine just like that feeling that, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like also, sure, maybe it's not something to be concerned about, but like as someone who's like a social worker, should we maybe ring the alarm bells before Monday?
Yeah. And you definitely know her case and her history and all of that. So
yeah. So meanwhile, over the weekend, Rick and Julian Thorburn were very concerned, as was Tia's mother, Cindy. Both went on Facebook and were making posts of Tia saying that they're concerned, and like if you're out with friends, like please let us know, or if you're one of the friends she's with, like please let us know. Pretty much pleading with anyone who has any information of where she is. Tia, having been missing for the entirety of the weekend, seemed very out of character for her, and also pretty sophisticated for a 12-year-old, especially one who's thought to be a little naive for her age. It's hard to go missing, you know, and not be spotted by anyone. I mentioned that Cindy made a Facebook post and the Thorburns with Tia's information and photos. It's important to note that the police were not able to put out a missing persons report officially for Tia due to there being confusion over who Tia's legal guardian was and who needed to sign off on the missing persons report and making Tia's photo public. So it wasn't until the 5th of November, 5 days after Tia was known to be missing, that an official missing persons report was made. Not that people hadn't gone to the cops, because they did on the day she went missing, but they weren't able to put anything out into the public until November 5th due to confusion within the department of knowing who her legal guardian is to sign off on her photo being shared.
Okay.
It's a little frustrating.
It is. It's like, is it really that big of a deal? I don't know.
Right.
There's a child missing. Like, who cares?
Right.
I'm sure her picture, like...
Let the receptionist sign it.
Right.
Like, get it out there.
And I don't, maybe things are different, like, legally in Australia, but, like, I don't know, do we have something like that here? I don't think it would be of course the police would talk to the guardians and everything, but it wouldn't just be like, oh, we have to get the parent's signature.
I think for any minor's photos to be shared, they have to get, like, the legal guardian signature, and the Thorburns weren't her legal guardian at the time. I think it was like the executive director of the organization, I think it was called Key Assets, who was like facilitating the foster care system. And he was involved in this the whole time. He just didn't know it was him who had to send. They were all frantically trying to figure out who is it, and it took 5 days. Well,
yeah,
maybe 3 days, because it wasn't even, the first 2 days she was missing, they weren't doing anything because it was the weekend. Some lapses in responsibility, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Unfortunately, on the same day that they were able to put the missing persons notice out and her photo to the public, on the 5th of November, Tia's body was found by 3 fishermen. It's really terrible. She was found on the bank of a river in Logan City area, nearly entirely unclothed, and decomposition had already begun. There was an autopsy conducted, and the cause of death could not be determined due to the level of decomposition of the body. There were no definite antemortem injuries, so nothing that they could determine that caused her harm. But the body was like fairly decomposed too, so I don't think they were able to do as well of an exam as, a body that's less far along in the decomposition process. The family were able to have a funeral, and everyone wore purple shirts that said her name, and it was sweet. Some things that came up during the initial police investigation was that One girl who went to school with Tia said that she saw Tia walk through the school gates on the morning of October 30th, which is the morning that Rick says that she was dropped off. Investigators later determined this account to be inaccurate, and the girl may have just been thinking of a different day, or, you know, who knows, she's a little girl whose classmate just went missing and is probably in shock. They had some information that Tia planned on skipping a day of school to see a friend, and this ended up being false as well. Police circled in on someone whose phone data had pinged off a cell tower near where Tia's body had been disposed of, and the time that it pinged off the tower was close to when someone would have been there disposing of her body. So they watched this person for some time, but this person ended up being cleared from the investigation. I just want to pause here and ask, like, what do you think?
Definitely, like, the foster dad seems suspicious since he's the last person who confirmed that he saw her. I just think it's also wild that they can pick up pings from cell phone tower. Like, I mean, it's great. It's just crazy, though, like, how much... It's like, that's what we know that they can do.
Yeah.
You know, what don't we know?
Right.
So...
And they've had that technology for a long time, because even the Trailside Killer, they use technology like that as well. And that was like, what, the 80s? So.
Yep. Yeah, and also the Andrew Cunanan, when he was going from up, he was making his way down to Miami, they used the cell phone towers from the cell phone in the car that he had stolen.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Doofus.
Right. Right, until they announced it on TV.
Oh,
they had, like, but yeah, that's wild. But yeah, it just, so far, it just definitely doesn't seem like something random. Someone knew that she was not at school or had left school. So it's the foster family is looking a little suspicious right now, I think.
Okay. I say we end it there. So we'll leave it there, and then next week we'll come back and figure out what happened.
That sounds great. That sounds really good.
And we'll shift into happier stuff, because
all right,
that is not happy.
No, not happy. But yeah, I really do like what you said at the beginning, because it is easy to kind of get angry at Cindy, being like, come on, dude. And you had a kid after and couldn't take her. But obviously, like, you never know what it's like to be in a situation like that until you are in a situation like that. Like, so I'm not going to presume to know what that feels like.
Exactly, yeah. And Cindy does end up really, I mean, a little bit of a spoiler, but turning her life around and, like, just become such a huge advocate for Tia. And yeah, she was just going through, and it's hard to get out of it when you're stuck in that generational cycle. You don't know any better, you know? So, there were definitely some parts when I was like, really? And then it's like, well, keep in context, like, she didn't come from the same place that I did. We have different walks of life.
Right, different walks of life, different circumstances, different privileges, all of that. Whenever you hear stories like this and you jump to conclusions saying, what a horrible mother or something like that, who knows what it was like. Being a mom is so hard in and of itself, and to have a mother like Cindy had, and who knows what kind of mother her mom had, you know? So it's a tough topic. But, all right, well, happy stuff.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's some clowning whispers.
There are.
Of TS12.
Oh.
A documentary.
Yeah. Well, the documentary is coming. I'm sorry. Just like...
Right. Yeah.
Just like everything we've clowned for. But there were cameras, okay? The documentary has to come at some point. And, like...
It has to.
I saw, like, a TikTok of just, like... Or it was on Facebook, I don't know, of just, like, some random moment from the Eras tour, and it just, like, it was like yesterday it hit me. I'm like, man, I really missed the Eras tour.
Yeah, me too. I've missed the Eras tour. I've missed playing Mastermind.
Yes.
And sharing, like, our selections with the girls.
I know.
I always loved that. That was so cool. So it was a special time.
It really was. Wow.
And we got to go. Like, we got to see the Eras tour in person.
And
for real. So.
Honestly, with the way that Ticketmaster, like, readjusted things after, I have trouble getting into much smaller concerts now. So,
oh, yeah.
I don't know if we would be able to get tickets again. Because the way that they messed up and, like, didn't leave any for the general sale, but we were all in the pre-sale. So, like, everyone in the pre-sale did get tickets, and then there was none left for the general sale. But they're giving away a lot less now to the pre-sales, and like, yeah, there's been much smaller concerts that I'm struggling to get into in the pre-sales now. So
dang,
I don't know
that's wild.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll be able to get tickets again if she does come, unless you get them like from resellers.
True, which will be
expensive,
probably ridiculous. I feel like what we'll have to do is, all of us try to get tickets at the same time because we're going to want to go together.
Of course.
Okay, so this is getting so into it, but like, what if we each dressed up as an era?
Of course, because it's going to be the eras with just a new era, right?
With just another one.
When she tours again?
Eras plus one.
Like, we can't go back to not an Eras tour.
Right. She has to sing songs from every single era every single time.
It has to be 4 hours long. And 2 years long.
Right. Gosh, that is so funny.
I would love a girls' trip to one of the European shows. They're cheaper.
That would be amazing. Okay, so we're really saving money.
100%, yeah.
And getting a life experience all in one.
It's practically free.
Right. Basically free. Yeah, yeah. For the enrichment, for all of that. That would be amazing.
Girls' trip. The boys can come too, I guess, but...
I think, would we go to a UK one, or would we do like...
Dude, after the last tour's London stop, I think that's the only answer.
Okay.
Like, okay. Florence came out, Jack Antonoff.
It's pretty much asking for a great show. I mean, they're all great shows, but... We could go, I think the Black Dog, is that? Oh, yeah, so London, we'd have to do that.
I saw a theory that there's also a bar called the Black Dog, and it was somewhere in the Middle East, I want to say. I could have that wrong, where, like, Joe Alwyn was, like, filming a movie or something at the time.
Ooh.
And there is a bar called the Black Dog there, too. Anyways, that just made me think of it when you said the Black Dog. I saw that like weeks ago. Who knows? I didn't look into it at all. But
yeah. No, that's very interesting.
Because
we'll see.
Whoever it was saying that they think that song's more about Joe than Ratty. I think there's bits of both of them in there, but I think it leans more Ratty.
Same, because he gives more of a starting line vibe than Joe did.
That's the one point that I'm stuck on. Yeah.
Right. But Joe having his location on makes more sense, obviously, for Joe than Maddie.
Yep. But, I don't know. Talking Cradles, maybe you sharing locations.
Right. True. Very valid. Oh, one other thing that I think his mom said was something like how it sucks that no one can talk about it, but Taylor can write a whole album about it.
Who said no one can talk about it?
Well, maybe it's like an NDA situation.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Taylor didn't have to talk about
it. Exactly. It's her experience.
Right.
So
Ratty should have had her sign one. He didn't think of it.
Right? Our friend Dustin sent to us today that Travis is going to be in Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think Taylor, she posted something related to Happy Gilmore, so that was like a little Easter egg for that. So
yeah, that's so funny too, because I was like, does she have a song in it, or like, because usually there's some kind of collab, or it's like one of her best friends like work that she's sharing. So that makes sense now. Yeah.
Yep. Which also is interesting, actually, now that you mentioned that, because this is totally switching,
Gears?
things here.
Okay.
But, yeah, gears. She advertised Deadpool, but she never said anything about It Ends With Us, even though her song was on there, right? Like,
well,
we never heard anything about that from her.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think by the time they were marketing for it, it was becoming a bad, like, publicity thing. So maybe that's why she was like, I'm not, well, Tree was like, you're not touching that. Right. Is my theory.
But yeah, who knows? So we may get a TS12 in the fall. Mm-hmm. There's, whispers of November 24th.
Oh, for why?
As being a day. And you're going to laugh, but it's because Travis on his lock screen in the pictures.
Oh, I've seen that. Okay.
But then she's also added 11/24 together. And it does.
Oh, you shared that. That's where I saw that.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was me. Whoops. But she's like added those numbers together before to, I think it was to announce the Long Pond Studio.
Yeah,
on Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. That one. So we're not crazy. She's done it.
Right. And so it would be an announcement then in September. Look at me like...
it would have to be, right? It would have to be. I love how we just fall so easily back into it. I will say, when I started hearing whisperings of the clownings happening again, I'm like, I can't. I am still bitter.
I can only dip my toe in.
Yeah. I am doing it from afar. Mm-hmm. I'm being removed. I'm not getting emotionally invested because I'm getting better, not bitter.
Oh,
about
I like that.
Rap TV. Mm-hmm. Just going to get better because I'm still a little upset.
Also, when do we get those vault tracks? It depends what you believe, too. I think it may still, maybe still be out there for us. Definitely the vault tracks.
I'm thinking definitely the vault tracks, and I'm on that same vein because in her letter she said very cheekily, if that's something that you would want. And she knows.
Girl.
Because I'm sure, every single era's tour date after 1989 was probably people screaming Rep TV. So that probably doesn't feel great, especially if you haven't if you truly haven't done any of it yet. So
yeah,
it might just be like there's that thing called demand avoidance, where it's like a psychological thing. Like if you're about to do something and then someone says, "Hey, you need to go do that," the thing that you're just about. It can be frustrating. Like, I get frustrated when that happens.
You just described me to a T.
I'm like, you don't need to tell me to do that because I am already doing it, but now I don't want to do it anymore.
Now I'm not going to do it. Yeah, because you have told me to. You should have trusted that I was you should have read my mind and known that I was about to do that thing. And now I won't. You can do it.
So, there.
No, that is interesting. I was thinking too, maybe she's just like feeling so much pressure about it too, and then like this pressure to make it so much better than it was, and then also internally struggling with like, how can I get back to that place where I was during rep, and like so angry at all the people calling her a snake, and then so in love too at the same time with this person who like kind of recently had a breakup with, and so I could see all that like being a setback.
Yes, a hindrance.
We're probably crazy, but I just the way too she said, and I know I've said this before and I'll say it again, the way she said both of these albums will have a time to shine or something like that. Like both of these re-record, something like that. I can't remember. Will have another time to shine. I don't remember the exact words, but
it was pretty much that. idea for sure.
Great, can't wait.
So excited.
Literally cannot wait. Can't do it.
Oh my gosh. Right. No, it will happen.
Yeah.
And it will be worth it.
TS12, I'm also very optimistic about. So, very excited for potentially a whole new era, a whole new
so excited.
sound.
And what could it be? Yeah, like what's the color scheme? What's the vibe? I don't know.
I could go for another whimsical album, honestly.
Me too.
The whimsy ones are great.
Yep, where you just want to like prance through fields and stuff.
Yeah, the little
listening
your
to
hair.
it. Yes. Just be a simple girly. Just planting squash in your garden.
Watching wisteria grow.
Watching the wisteria grow. That would be beautiful. I guess that's a nice little end cap.
Yeah, I'm feeling palate cleansed. I'm feeling cleansed.
Yep. Same. Ready to be wrecked again next week.
Buckle in. Yeah. Ugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it for today's episode of Crimenelia Street. You can follow us on Instagram at Crimenelia Street or on TikTok at Crimenelia ST Podcast. And please feel free to send us an email at crimeneliast@gmail.com. We are also on YouTube at Crimenelia Street Podcast.
Yes, we've actually added all of our videos. By the time this comes out, they should all be up on YouTube, so you can find the podcast there to listen to, or you can watch every episode. Except just don't watch the first couple episodes, because I watched some of those today, and the color choices of my outfits were cringy, so you could skip past those. But but yeah, you can see all our episodes on YouTube now. And if you're going to email us, make sure it is positive feedback. And that's it. Bye, clowns.
Bye, clowns.